I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. Hey guys, welcome back to the Drone Camps channel. I'm Justin Davis, and today I have an XF90 from our friends over at GearBest. This is a pretty cool little 3K all carbon fiber quadcopter. It's got kind of this like green camo look on here, and interesting motors on here. These look different than some of the other motors I've seen, the 1103s and 1104s. These are pretty tall, and they have kind of anodized aluminum, sort of purplish or pink tops and bottoms, and these are actually 0806 7500 kVs. So I'm interested to see how well these perform, see if they're as powerful as the 1103s or the 1104s. I'm guessing that judging by the size of them, they're not quite as powerful as something like an 1104, like you saw on the Monster on my channel. But what's different about this one, it's actually has a switchable VTX video transmission system on here, and that's pretty sweet because you can switch from 25, 100, and 200 milliwatt. And as you guys know, if you're flying a brushless micro, it can go pretty fast and get away from you pretty far, so you want a good video transmission. Now, one other positive versus something else like the Monster here, little guy on the right over here, this has the dipole. This is not going to give you quite as good of a video signal. These nice cloverleaf antennas right here will actually give you a more solid and better signal. So I'm interested to see how it pairs up with 200 milliwatt and this solid cloverleaf antenna. So that will be a big advantage on this quad. Plus you have onboard OSD. It should tell us our battery telemetry, and unlike our friend over here, the Baby Hawk, this one has OSD, yes, Baby Hawk doesn't. This one also has a beeper and LEDs on the back, which, you know, if you watch my channel before, you have to add that on there. You have to add your own beeper on this one and LEDs if you want them on the Baby Hawk. But this one does also have a 200 milliwatt transmitter. Baby Hawk's been one of the favorites out there. It flies really well. But if this one flies really well, I will be excited about this one because it also has 800 TVL camera, which is also better than the eSheen camera. I believe the eSheen was a 600. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was. So I got the FLYSKY version of the receiver, so I have some more batteries charging over there that are ready to go. I've got my FLYSKY transmitter, and this already has Betaflight on it. It has Betaflight 3.1.5 on here. It does have the Pico BLX on here, which is, you know, one of my favorite brushless boards, flight controllers. If you're new to this, the Pico BLX is a pretty nice board. So we're also rocking a 4-in-1 ESC on the bottom of this. So guys, if you do have one ESC go out, you're going to have to replace all of them. But it says in the specs on this sheet, it says that it is a 10 amp. So you can see it. It says 10 amp right here. And I'm wondering if this is actually 10 or 12, because the website actually says 12. Maybe it's a typo. But I would be leery about running this on 3S. So you want to test with caution, because you could take out your camera, so bad things can happen. But it also has a JST on here, the red style JST, so I would stick to 2S. Highly recommended to do that. 2S 450s is about the perfect size. Now I just plugged it in, and you'll notice that we have LEDs in the back, and these change colors when you're moving. If you're moving forward, they stay solid. If they move back, they start to change color. If you move right and left, they also, one goes out and the other one turns on. So that's also kind of neat about this quad. And it's a switchable VTX up in here, like I was saying before. If you long press this and you hold it down for more than 4 seconds, you'll be able to change the different frequencies. So now I'm on 100 milliwatt. Now I'm on 200 milliwatt there. You can see the 3 lights. So I'm going to stick with 3 there, and it'll go back to the channel and the band. I believe there's up to 48 different channels, 40 channels on this one. So, and just to give you guys some size awareness, this is the Monster we had on the channel earlier. I believe this was the Monster 78, I think it was. And this one's actually a 90mm frame. So one of my favorite sizes actually is the 90. You can see how much smaller these props are. So those awesome gem fans will fit on here. These props are probably going to give you a lot of punch though, but they're not going to be super durable, so you might want to take a wrench with you in the field and the extra set of props that it came with. Now this is the King Kong 95 GT, and I'll just hold that up. You can see it's just a little bit taller than the XF90. There's those two next to each other, and then the Baby Hawk right here. This looks way more durable. Some guys are complaining that the Baby Hawks were made out of plastic, but the frames are fairly cheap. And this one I actually cracked the frame right here, and that might have been my fault because I put a little Loctite on those bolts on the bottom of the motor. But so let's go ahead outside now and let's check out this XF90 and see how good it flies and if it's a competitor to some of the other brushless micros on the market right now, and I'll let you guys decide. And one last note before we go outside, guys, and fly this little guy. D-Shot apparently seems to be on here. It says in the manual that it does not support D-Shot, D-Shot BF as they say, but actually D-Shot's already programmed on this ESC protocol. Inside Betaflight it says it's running D-Shot, so strange. But anyway, that's great because it should fly pretty well with D-Shot on there. D-Shot is a nice protocol, but also guys, as a side note, please do turn down your cell warning voltage down a lot, considerably, down to like 3.0 or something, because this battery is going to constantly beep as soon as you turn on your battery out of the field. So keep that in mind before you fly yours for the first time. I'll see you out of the field. Okay guys, here we go. Now right off the launch pad it felt a little bit squirrely to me, and the rates weren't super high, but I think it's this FLYSKY transmitter. I'm just not used to flying with these guys. They're a little bit sensitive on the sticks. They don't feel as locked in as an FRSky like X7 like I'm used to, or the X9D. But I wanted to test out these motors to see how much punch out they have. It seems to have a decent punch out. Let's do a little flip to stall there. Try out a big gap, soccer goalposts. But I think every quad flies different, and this one doesn't fly like the Baby Hawk at all. It feels kind of faster and a little more squirrely. It doesn't have as a locked-in feel, and that might be the PID tune on here, and it also might be the radio. But it seems to fly pretty. Oops, I crashed. But it seems to fly nice and low and fast very well. Not the greatest freestyle quad in the world, and that might be the controller. But I am able to really go really fast, low, and that's a lot of fun. It seems to have some prop wash on the turns, and some when I come back down right there. There's a little bit of flutter. So that might be the PID tune on here from the factory. Could use a little bit of tuning. But it's a fast quad, no doubt about it. It's a fast quad. I think with the gem fan props, this would probably be a lot better flyer. So if you get this one, switch it out to the gem fan props, and I think you'll have a good quad here. You can get it with a variety of different receivers.